This plan, unfortunately, the canal site plan, we're extremely disappointed, angry even, that this 2004 final environmental impact statement is basically thrown in the dustbin. There is absolutely no recognition nor apparent understanding of how important this landscape is, that it is in fact a cultural landscape.
I think one of the largest adverse impacts is the exclusion of the 2004 master plan, which was so well put together after many years of litigation and dispute, and a lot of time spent, and now we've spent another 4 or 5 years, and that plan has been rejected.
The core of the cultural landscape is the public infrastructure, exactly where the streets run, exactly where Prime Slip runs, exactly how the Erie Canal runs, the streets, the sidewalks, the wharfs. None of that is apparent in the area known as the historic canal district. In fact, it's all destroyed. And I'm telling you, not since the Ice Age was there a waterfall on the Buffalo River. The entire point about making the terminus there was it was level water, and now we're going to have introduced these fake elements of fake canal where we have the real thing. We have a water wheel. I'm looking for the log flume. I don't see it, but I'm sure I'm overlooking it. So those are real issues. The huge adverse impact on the cultural landscape that has got to be examined, and it can't be examined just in terms of the project proponents rationalizing things. We have to hear from trained professional academic historians working in historic preservation. We want to know what they think the impact will be, not what Bass Pro thinks the impact will be of this waterfall. We want to know if that is an appropriate path to take, having waterfalls, having elevated canals, water tubes, things like that. We have a master plan from 2004. It was a result of a very, very long and complicated and expensive legal and public process. We simply do not understand why it's being absolutely thrown into the garbage. It's arrogance bordering on contempt, and we're really, really disappointed that the public will is being ignored in this fashion.
If they had a different public process in which they came back to us with, here's what we took from these public comments, and this is what we did with it. They aren't bringing any of the evolution of their thinking in front of us. They're just delivering completed models, and I think when you do that and then ask for comment afterwards, you've got everything backwards.
4 years later, we have a plan that isn't as good as what we had, and I'm very disappointed by that. I heard talk about engaging the public. Well, the public was very engaged. I've been coming to meetings like this, and even in this room, 20, 30 years. And I heard people talking about what they want on the waterfront, and people talked about walking and swimming and boating and canoeing and ice cream and restaurants and the history and some apartments and fishing and picnics. Shopping, yes, people want to shop on the waterfront. But I never, ever heard anybody from the public call for a shopping center featured with a big box store. And I regret, I'm very sad that all of the board members are not here. And here's the public speaking to you, telling you what our suggestions are, and maybe you'll read the notes. We don't know, but if board members were here, they would hear us at least.
I feel that the development is a sort of an urban mall development that could be built anywhere and doesn't properly reflect the historic aspect of Buffalo's western terminus of the Erie Canal. I would like to see a museum that honors the history of the Erie Canal and the Canal District, that has artifacts from the canal, artifacts from the building of the canal as well as from the traveling on the canal. I'd like to see a database go along with this museum that would be like the Ellis Island database, which hundreds of thousands of Americans use to track their genealogy. Many of the people who live in the west of the United States can track their ancestors to a trip on the Erie Canal through Buffalo. America's Crossroads that tells the story of the Canal District. I think they should be more interested in telling the story of the Canal District than they are in retail shops.